Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Brahma Bulletin. I'm the Bullish Brahma, and I'm here to talk everything San Antonio Brahmas. In today's video, I'll cover three different topics. Topic number one, I will look at the Brahmas who made it into the NFL and see how they did after week one of the NFL preseason. Number two, I'll look at the latest news and transactions and anything that happened since my previous video. And number three, I will do a Brahma in the Spotlight, where I will shed some light on one of the new members of the San Antonio Brahmas. It's going to be a good one, so don't go anywhere. And without further ado, let's begin. So the NFL ended week one of its preseason. And as of the conclusion of week one, there were 9 members of the San Antonio Brahmas that made it into the NFL. So, how'd they do? Well, actually, there's not a whole lot to report. Of the 9 Brahmas that made it into the NFL, only 3 actually made it into the field. Luke Barku was one for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And although he didn't make the stat sheet, he did play approximately 40% of defensive snaps for the Steelers. So that's not bad. The second one is Kobe Smith for the Giants. He had 3 tackles, and one of them was a solo tackle. And the third one is kicker John Parker Romo for the Detroit Lions. He went 1 for 1 in field goal attempts, and it was a 28-yard field goal attempt that he made. Although he did botch a kick at the second half of the game, so that's not so good. And other than that, that's it. No other Brahmas played. So after week one, there's not a whole lot to report. Now, it is just week one. There are 2 more preseason games to be played, and perhaps this will be a chance for those Brahmas that didn't play to get on the field and showcase their talents. So let's hope that's the case. All right, now let's move on to latest news and transactions. All right, this is going to be good. Now, there have been no releases, so the Brahmas did not release anybody. They were 2 trades. They traded wide receiver Landon Akers to the Roughnecks for 2 players to be named later. And they also traded safety Jack Kerner to Seattle for wide receiver Jordan Veazey. They signed 2 players from the IFL, as a matter of fact, the Indoor Football League. The first one is defensive lineman Armonte Carey from the Northern Arizona Wranglers and defensive back Rodney Allen from the Frisco Fighters. Now, the cool thing about that is that our new quarterback, TJ Edwards, also played with the IFL's Frisco Fighters. So those 2 are reunited. So that's it. That is the latest news and transactions since the last video. And now it's time for the Brahma in the Spotlight, where I will be shedding some light on one of the new players of the Brahmas. And in this spotlight, I am going to go over and do Jaleel Billingsley, the tight end, and he was from the Texas Longhorns. Now, Jaleel Billingsley started off with the Alabama Crimson Tide, and then he transferred over to the Texas Longhorns. Now, with Alabama, he was a class of 2019 4-star recruit, and he transferred from Alabama after appearing in 36 games over 3 seasons and recording 37 catches for 559 yards and 6 touchdowns. He was a preseason All-SEC selection heading into the 2021 season, but he only caught 17 passes for 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. And in his Texas career, he had 3 catches for a whopping 38 yards. He did have a cup of coffee with the Tennessee Titans in a rookie minicamp, and he is now currently playing for the CFL's Calgary Stampeders, effective the 13th of July, 2023, after he was signed by the San Antonio Brahmas in the rookie draft. As of this video, he has not played with the Calgary Stampeders. Now, according to this article here, we see that Jaleel was observed as having, quote, a general lack of engagement, unquote, and a possible lack of interest in playing football. And as he transferred to Texas after Alabama, and then he was suspended for 6 games. We don't know anything about the suspension, what caused it, what led up to it. Apparently, it wasn't serious enough because it hasn't scared anybody away. I mean, after his suspension, he was still played with Texas. He was invited to the Titans camp. He is now with the CFL, and he was signed by the Brahmas. So whatever it was that led to his 6-game suspension, apparently it wasn't that big of a deal. Me personally, I think that it's okay. We're fine. It's not a big deal. The XFL is a league of opportunity, of second chances, of third chances even. So this will be a good spot for Jaleel to get his second or third or possibly even his 4th chance to continue his dreams. Let's just hope that whatever alleged apathy and lack of interest in football that he had when he was at Alabama is now long gone, and that's behind him. Like I said, as of right now, he hasn't played any games with the Calgary Stampeders, but if he does play, hopefully he can get into game shape and really shake off some rust and get into gear. And then when he comes over to the XFL, he'll be ahead of the competition like no one else. I mean, I think it's great that he is with the Brahmas because we definitely need a tight end to replace Elise Mack, who is now in the NFL. Whether it's Jack Cohen, whether it's TJ Edwards, whether it's whoever else at quarterback, every quarterback needs a safety blanket. And a lot of times the tight ends are that safety blanket. So he's big, he's fast, he's freakishly athletic, according to everything that we can find on him. Like I said, just hopefully his apathy is gone. He's now re-engaged in the football and he's focused. And when he comes here to San Antonio, he's ahead of the competition and he can really stampede his way through the competition. So let's hope he does some good job for us. I'm really excited for him to get started. And I'm just excited for football to get started. You know what I mean? It's been a long off season, but I'm here to fill in those gaps and to scratch that itch that we all have for the XFL and specifically the Brahmas. And as soon as I get more updates, I'll pass them along to you. I'm looking forward to doing the next video already. But as far as this video, I think that's it. It's time for this Brahma to be put out to pasture. At least until the next video. Until then, San Antonio, horns forward!